Clevatess, episode 3. We have continuing where the last cliffhanger left off with Alicia down in the bottom of the cliff, and she comes back to life essentially, but not fully the way she thought she would. I think she was expecting her to like come back and be reassembled right away, but instead she realized, oh well, I can't feel anything below my neck, so she has she's still like pretty much alive, but not full fully capable of moving on her own. And yeah, she realized soon after that the little thing that is keeping her alive decided to come out and was like, well, now I'm gonna have to set some ground rules, or like I have to I have to remind you of how things work here. I am the ego that Clevatess has put on her is the whole reason why she's still alive, but that doesn't mean she will constantly just regenerate all the time. It pretty much is, however, Clevatess decides that she is worth keeping around. So, and also depending on how much blood she loses and stuff. Um, but in here she made it out safely, but they she pretty much has to now be at the beck and call of like, okay, well, I have to constantly show my worth so that I actually get to stay alive and I don't actually have to part ways and die. So it is really kind of dark where it's like, yes, you are being kept alive, but you really don't have any free will of your own. You have to do what Clevitus says. You have to continue to prove yourself at every beck and corner that you are worth keeping around, and that's just like not any way to like that you can really say she is alive in a sense when her own will is not really put into play. But regardless of that, Clevitus gives her the perfect opportunity to show her worth, and because he asks her like, okay, why did Nail reject me so eagerly, or so without really giving it a second thought? And Alicia was like, okay, well, you are a slave and you have a baby right now. Essentially, it's like she probably did not feel safe to be able to go on the run with you. And also, there's the whole thing with the bandits. As long as they're still around, they'll keep hunting you and hunting her down forever. So there, to her, it really wasn't much of a escape to leave this place and go into the unknown where she would eventually meet her own end. So, Clevitus, being the smart, dark beast ruler that he is, decides, okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of the bandits, and by we, I mean you. So it's like, I'll heal you from all your broken bones and all the stuff that happened to you, but you have to get rid of them because nobody will bat an eye if a hero goes and kills all these bandits, and it would also keep them covered and away from the spotlight as well. So pretty clever on Clevitus' part or Clan's part, and now Alicia was reluctant, and she was like, "Well, I guess I have no choice." And it the animation and the amount of sounds that they had to use for letting us see her being pieced together bone by bone, or like making it, or like getting that feeling that she was getting pieced bone by bone by animation and sound quality was stellar, amazing. I loved it. Uh, but yeah, she's gonna prove her worth by getting rid of these bandits now. And Nell, we switch over to Nell, the poor soul Nell. She goes back, and Carmen is like, you should have just let him finish it off, and before they got the chance to hit you, you know. And it's like, yeah, well, that is what happened. And Nell comes back a bit more optimistic than she was prior, and now that she was given the carrot dangling in front of her, about going out in the outside world, she kind of now wonders, okay, what's that like? And because Carmen is not from the Ravens, she actually came from outside of them. She asks her what it's like, and then she blurts out about Plan and how he wanted her to come along with him. And Carmen's like, well, you need to not have that in your mind. You are here. You have some worth here, and plus, if you can't even go with them because you'll be hunted down. And it's like, and plus, the use this man will probably only use you till you are of no use to him, and then he'll toss you away like all the other men do. It's like in this world, she Carmen kind of lets it out for her. Like in this world, we really are not women are not really worth anything. The only worth they have is whatever worth the man gives them, and if it's not for that, they're thrown aside and never to be seen or never to be heard from again, essentially. And unlucky for Nell that the boss Broko was walking along the dining hall as they were talking about all this outside stuff, and he decides to get Nell to follow him to kind of help him out with an experiment of sorts. And this just means that Carmen was like, yeah, well, shoot, now we don't got anybody to feed the babies because apparently when Broko goes to get you to help him out, you never come back to life. So Clint kind of shows up and it's also like, what do you mean? And then I guess Carmen lets it out like, yeah, like people that go with them don't ever come back. It's not even a. That's why she's considered like already non-existent. And yeah, so we follow Neil and Broko along their path, and turns out he lured her into his Dark Beast playing room and is gonna make like a sport of it for his own entertainment. And it's like, okay, well, we get all this info though about Arcanite and how those red stones keep getting used for different things like light and other and for magic to control dark beasts and stuff. And it's really coming in handy. It's really showing how this world is slowly progressing due to these stones and how they're becoming more essential to everyday life in this world. And then we have Nell get eaten by the dark beast, which Clan shows up and instantly, right before the beast eats her, she realized her mistake too late. Like she realized she should have gone and taken his hand when she could, because at least in that way she would still be alive and at least have worth because she knows she could provide and feed the Luna. But she's eaten and cleansly tells Luna like, listen, the Luna's the baby. This is a eat or be eaten world. Don't be don't cry because Nell it was Nell's time to get eaten. And this pretty much he goes and tries to face off against Broko, and the dark beast kind of like gets scared because it knows what Clan is and knows that it's one of the four dark lord beasts, whatever. And yeah, it was interesting seeing how the Broko was trying to explain to Clan how magic works and what they use it for, and then instantly Clan realized, shoot, I should have had Alicia tell me how to tell me all about magic and how to avoid getting hit by it or like avoid any confrontation with it. So now that Clan's having his own issues, we have Alicia who has her own issues with these bandits as she's slicing and dicing through them like nothing, and then eventually one of them uses pure force to destroy her sword, which makes her contemplate, okay, well, if I am truly gonna get rid of all these bandits, I'm gonna need a sword worthy of such such feature, and also one that will last more than just a hit. Which then she decides to go after the sword in the lake full of dark beasts, and she goes about it in a smart way because as she noticed that the dark beasts were coming out, uh, she kind of figured they gotten used to being fed in a regular basis. So now instead of like going out to get food, they waited for these bandits to start dropping uh, food for them to them. So she used that to her advantage. Went up until they didn't realize how far up they were or how close they were to the sea, and that's pretty much where they did their trap. Where she did her trap, where she got all of them down in the lake, so that as the sea beasts are eating and feasting off these bandits, first of all she's taking some bandits out, and then she's giving herself space to dive deep into the ocean and get the sword. Which once again she's using her immortal body to her advantage, where she went down a barrel so that the beast wouldn't notice she was going down, and she's just gonna let herself suffocate and resuscitate over and over again until she manages to be where the sword is at, and then use it to probably defeat the other beast or two, and then to get rid of all the bandits. But I just think it's really interesting how for Alicia she's becoming more human. Alicia's becoming more of a monster because she's immortal and constantly doing things that a monster would have no regard of doing. Like she's putting her own body at risk, like taking caution to the wind. And meanwhile, we have Clan who has to be a bit more cautious, and because in the form he's currently in, with the horn person, he he is more human than he is a dark beast. So I like how we have these two parallels of these two going in the complete opposite way. And then we have Luna, who's like the connecting glue, the little baby. But oh yeah, this episode was so good, so amazing. I think I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, and that's gonna be it for this episode. And so, if you like what you heard, you want to keep having my videos pop up in your feed, just like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the noti bell, and until next time, bye.